Hello, this is Divine.
Diners. I pulled some cards today about the energies that I am feeling. Where we are, the divine masculine is having growing pains about really truly having to grow up spiritually and mature.
These are the tests that you've already had before. These are the tests that you kind of maybe failed before. These are the tests that saying, hey, this is the moment you've been prepared for. Now let me see how you're going to be able to handle it now. Clear. YouTube channel. All right, see you in a few. Benefits. So the story is still from your ancestors. It's still stored in your body.
Stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascended. Namaste, Namago.
This one is a special edition because it is focusing in on the eclipse. So we know the eclipse is in Sagittarius, and Sagittarius energies pretty much concentrates and brings on the casual, direct, enthusiastic, far-seeing, friendly, gregarious, honest, humorous, idealistic, loyal, outspoken, philosophical, restless, talkative, a traveler, exaggerating, irresponsible, and tactless. So right now with that's what I was about to say with Sagittarius, that explorer energies is pretty much, I would say, about the runner dynamic, as you call it, in the twin flame dynamic, is being settled. I'm hearing to say it's time for you to kind of settle down on that. The things that you have been running away, now you're feeling like you want forward movement, and you're going to find yourself wanting to face those energies that's going on with the eclipse that's bringing in. And that's probably in the shadow work that you have to actually do too as well. Right now, we're really being pushed to be really truly honest with ourselves about what's truly our value. It's a sense of really integrity about how we're showing up in the world, how people are showing up for us, and saying some of us might be at the point because we knowing our value, we've done the work, and the universe is pushing us. It's going to get us to the point that it's like, you know what, enough is enough. And we might find ourselves ending things kind of abruptly, or saying, you know what, I need to really truly go after what I want. So you kind of got the explorer energies, not even in the running and chaser dynamic, or I call it, for me, I call it explorer in the lighthouse. Some of us are kind of moving out of that lighthouse energies, as far as being there, being the center or the thing in which you can know what's north, south, east, and west in relationship, but saying that, you know what, I want to go out there and explore too as well, because I've been there, I've seen the light, I've been really a beacon of light for everybody else. But now I'm understanding that in some ways there's been a shadow aspect of it, and it's been a thing of sacrifice as well. What jumps off of this is like really direct. I'm feeling just like the Sagittarius symbol, where it's a pulling back and a release. It's really knowing my target where it has been. I might have find myself being pulled back by the universe, some challenges, some things, so I could get a better perspective as to where's the area or the direction that I need to actually go. If you have been kind of wishy-washy now with what's going on with the eclipse, it's really pushing you to be able to really find a defined thing. And that goes back to that value, a divine thing as a direction or path that you want to go, or you want to go after some things. Um, really want to be connected. I think I'm hearing this say by friendly fire. A little kind of tired about things that's not been in the um, aspect of like this foe, like enemy, camping in the enemy. That's funny. The other day, the vocabulary word for in the classroom was about enemy. And it's understanding, interesting that my principal had said the word of the day was rebel. And some of us might be feeling that there, but instead of us a rebel with no cause, it'll be a rebel with a cause, because it's like I can't stand. I have stands where I can stand, and I can stand no more. And so that's very important. Make sure that you click like, share, and subscribe to this channel so that it helps with the algorithms and that this message can get out of there, out there. it is out of there because I'm thinking about this boxed in because the AI and artificial intelligence is being interested as far as what is put out there, what's not. Again, and the only way that we collectively can do that is to make sure we push out this positive energy from this channel is by making sure that we're liking, we're sharing, we're commenting, we're doing those things. Also, I want to footnote and say that some of you all might be finding me commenting on things 2 years, 1 year prior. I had just found and seen that the way I had it filtering was like a certain way, like not responding or responding, and they filtered it that I wasn't able to see all of the comments. So I went back in there and I was like, oh, I wonder why I went a whole year like no comments, which was interesting, and it kind of worked on my ego, just to be honest. And so then I was like, oh, okay, I'm putting out this content, but they're not talking to me. Maybe, again, ego's talking. Maybe shouldn't put it out here. We're not getting this, not getting any kind of responses out here. So lo and behold, that's how interesting forces kind of use that to kind of play with your mind and say, okay, here's one that's trying to put out this content. We could work on her by getting her no comments. So that's just one thing how it's doing that. But back to what the message at hand. Sagittarius is also about outspoken. Most of us will probably be finding ourselves because I'm looking across the board. Everybody's saying about how this energy is bringing up this amount of vulnerability. When you're doing vulnerable and you're being vulnerable, you're putting it out there. You're really not caring about the responses of anybody around you. You're not really about them if they up there saying, I'm gasping. Oh my God, they're gasping and clutching the pearls. It's your truth. And right now, this truth here is really cutting through in more ways than one than ever before. It's just like hot knife on butter. Just like shh, that's it, or a nice sharpened samurai knife. Um, this is needed because it's showing me like almost like a weed or a field to kind of get the separate the wheat from the shaft. The stuff that no longer is working. Your truth is going to set a place for you to be able to go. And this is what it is. It's like this knife or that thing. I can see that hook like the deaf person uses. And a sickle, something, a sickle. And so that is going to help to be able for you to go through and actually create this newness that is actually needed. Now, when we're talking about what's happening here and the resources, and you want to be finding yourself to be a resource for a lot of things that's out there, even for yourself, for other people that are probably looking at you, really seeing it because you're being really truthfully speaking the light. To me, when I feel like when they talk about the lighthouse, it's like it's no longer that you got to be stationary. They want you to be kind of like moving about, like you have a movement. And that's why I said a forward movement to hit the target where you need to actually go. Um, some of you might be feeling a little restless. I'm noticing a lot of people, and it says traveler, which is interesting because I'm seeing a lot of people having this issue with times. We're doing a lot of timeline jumping. I've experienced it to the point that it's like, okay, I don't feel like myself. What's the day? It's the day Tuesday. It's the day Thursday. It's the day Wednesday. What year? I had yesterday somebody asked me to write down a date I was signing for something, and I was almost about to put 22. It's like, what year are we in? That's kind of happening a lot because, again, with this sign of the Sagittarius and being in that influence, there is a lot of traveling. But it's also, when we talk about traveling, is about things of the past. Spirit has, and I will put that on as a special. If you go to the ShantiWellnessCenter.com, or you can just simply just message me on Divineunisouls11 at Gmail. If you are interested in getting only, you can get this special only by contacting me. They just told me through Gmail. For this one, if you're interested in getting the past life regression sessions, these past lives, things that are still on some of us are having a hold on us. So most of the time, I charge $250 for a session via Zoom because most time it takes about 2 hours, maybe 3, depending on how far we have to go. And if you're interested in treating yourself and giving a present to yourself and giving you an eye opening into the past or unlocking the past, This would be a great Christmas present to yourself, which I will knock the price down to $144 for you to be able. Most of the time when people do past life or any kind of work, it's in the 200s and up. Rarely you get anybody kind of low like that. So this is really a steal, but only if you had seen it on here. You contact me on this Gmail, I will be able to give you the special. That will be most of the time it's on the weekends. I'm free to do that, and I do that via Zoom. However, when you catch me from December the 20th all the way into January the 3rd, I will be able to really do it throughout the week. You don't have to wait for the weekends. So make sure that you take advantage of doing that as well. Okay. All right then. So we can take that off. Just want to make sure you understand to click like, share, and subscribe on that one. So let's take a little look. See, I gave you my channel message at the beginning about what Sagittarius energies is bringing. A lot of philosophical. However, I do see this. The shadow of it is saying exaggerating. That's jumping off. So make sure that you're not letting the illusions or things about what's actually happening to you or occurring to you. You kind of over exaggerate. You're blowing things out of proportion. I always think about my dad said sometimes you have a tendency to make a mountain out of a molehill. Thank you. And so we have to make sure that we kind of change that aspect, that we're not over exaggerating things as well. And the interesting is say exaggerating. To me, it's saying, are we dragging? That's the first thing I see somebody dragging something through sand. Or I was watching earlier, my mom had me watching the things about the young lady, there's twins that committed a crime on YouTube, and it's interesting. It was on Channel 11 down in Atlanta news. It came on at 11, and it was twins, both of them females that killed their mother. Is there some kind of thing that's going on? And it's interesting about to hit. It said 11 there too. Are we about to get to a point that we are dragging something out that we have maybe killed or made it dead, or it has died? There's no more life into it, and then we're trying to have more life, or we're dragging out its ending. That's something that's brought to my attention too as well. Irresponsible is that watch it again, and maybe we might be so zealous that I'm picking up zeal, the energy of that we kind of overdo things and we don't really sit down and center and make sure we got a good grounding into something. So make sure that we do that. And tactless. Sometimes we might do things that don't have, like, to me, tactless to me is not, it's like tactical. To me, it's not, you're not doing it with finesse, you're not doing it with intentionality, you're not doing it with strategy. So like you got strategic strategy as to what you're doing. So kind of watch that what you're doing, that you don't doing that. I kind of caught myself the other day, something had happened on the job, and I was like, well, watch it, really back in, because that seemed like we kind of going a little off right there. So, just kind of, it's going to happen because, Sagittarius energies is fire energy. And so we have to make sure, and what is it? They are, whoa, I'm trying to see which one. Okay, Sagittarius, it's got this arrow. It's a mutable sign, which means that it's signs that's conclude and assimilate a season. So conclude means to end things. That's just like what I said about dragging something across that's been dead, that you haven't let it go yet, and you still doing it. Assimilate, which means to kind of practice, to do over again before you launch and do the real deal things. Mutable. Yeah, because you can kind of really blend like into anything else. You can mimic a lot of other stuff too, because you're that mutable, very neutral. So watch that too as well. The energies that's being brought on now by this great celestial event is your commitment is being tested. Okay. And I believe that. That's why I say, again, it's something about it that either you've been dead about something and you're still dragging it out, that you need to kind of let it go, that you have not let go, that you maybe felt like you've been committed to it. And it's just like, okay, What am I actually being committed to? Okay. The next thing is you're very close to achieving your goal. That's why I said I feel like some endings is coming, some closure to some things as well as it's coming with that. The way in which you're going about doing that is really using your honesty, your truth. This is really what I want. I seen early this morning that somebody was saying about the body. The body keeps score. I know it's a book about that. And when we talk about the body keeping score, sometimes we need to also we talk about the guides, we talk about higher self, we talk about even using our counterparts higher self. We talk about the inner child, but sometimes instead of because we have been grown up by Western uh, uh, beliefs or American beliefs or wherever it is, because I always get mixed up, but Western beliefs that our body is our enemy. Sometimes we can talk to our body and it'll give us the answers as well. Because I know, like today, I was like, okay, should I go ask this person about this opportunity that they have? And every time I would do it, I was like, I really kind of want to because I know they had a new opportunity that I want to go in this new operate. But some about it, each time I would think about it, I would feel like, I felt a tightness. I said something about that. Say, no, don't do that. Don't do that. I don't think you should go in that direction every time I think about it. Here lately on the job, I'll just be honest with you, it's been a lot of pains of my legs and not being able to move and mobility, which means, again, some kind of way, like I said, okay, what does this mean? I said, well, that it means that, again, you don't feel like you got a good footing. You don't feel like it's good. Hey, you don't feel like you got a good footing, your mobility. You don't feel like it's any kind of movement. Your body is telling you that. So if we get to that point, I see 15555 there. So if we get into that point, that means my body is telling me, I think maybe you need to stop. There's no forward movement here. It's hard for you to move there. And that's the same thing. Just like you ask yourself, what do you want? And some things you ask, well, my heart says, I feel much lighter when I think about this subject. I think maybe I want to do this. You know, this is something that we also need to ask. We have all the tools and instruments at our disposal to help us to really truly understand what's going on in life, what's going on with us. Are we really truly living in our truth? Because if we're not, our body will tell us, like, okay, now I think I can keep on pushing on this job. I'm all right. I'm straight. Then a headache could come out of the blue. It might not be for ascension. It might be, okay, it's pressure. It's too much pressure. It makes me think too much. This is too much for me. So, even if we don't, our bodies also, I'm asking you to look at your bodies to look and see, does it also have the answer about what you're into? And are you getting which way about as far as you're getting close to your goal as well? Surrender to the divine. Some of us, again, like I said, I called it before, it's okay to be in the gray, which means sometimes, hey, you might not have a direct answer. I've gotten to the point now that I even surrender. I say, hey, you know what? This is bothering me. I talk to source. I say, this is bothering me. This is bothering me. I'm telling you right now, I don't have the answers and I'm really tired. I call myself, Regina is really tired. I'm tired of me spinning and trying to find out the answers to it. So I really surrendered to it. You're going to have to bring me the actual answers to it because I don't know really actually what to actually do about it. What's the steps to do, who I need to call, what I need to do, and that's it. Sometimes it's a surrender to the divine. I've heard some people say, hey, right at this point, the future cannot be actually determined as to what is going on because, again, it's a lot of things being moved around in the 5D or whatever dimensions or celestial or whatever in the divine universe that's getting prepared and ready for us. So right now, some of the answers are not there. The end of the tough cycle approaches. Okay, so we have some endings here. I said that before when I did my channel before. I even looked at the cards here. Again, we have some endings. The end of a tough, so it's like you're coming up on the rough side of the mountain and you're ready to go down. I always think about Les Brown say we're either going towards a challenge or we're coming from a challenge. And so right now they say we're coming towards a challenge at this time. Oh, interesting. I looked interested when I did that. So this is what we are doing at this time. And so the energy is gaining momentum. This reminds me a lot of times when you climb up, those inclines and you get ready to go down, it pushes you, especially if it's extremely deep. it kind of pushes you. You find yourself, oh my God, wait a second. I think about also when we took them trips down to Atlanta when I was in school down in Atlanta, Georgia, and a lot of times we'll drive. And sometimes Dad would let me drive, and sometimes he would drive. And he was like, you kind of got to watch it when you go on those steep inclines, because they'll tell you watch the steep inclines. And sometimes you ain't have to even do nothing. All you need to do is just let it just take over and just push you all the way down the hill in the car. But you have to kind of watch it, because sometimes you have to ride the brakes too as well, because it'll go a little too fast. Which is letting you know, again, gravity, spirit, source. Some of the things, the energy is gaining momentum. That's telling you again from there, you don't need to do any other further things as far as getting you to where you need to. You just kind of just need to just push and coast, or you don't even, they say you, in some instances, some of you all don't have to do it because you've already did the work. I like how Sherry and Leah and Sherry said, and Leah said that too. Stop calling the work. It's called really getting in connection with self, which is true. When you say that, much better. You have less potential, less being upset about you saying work, because work sounds heavy. You know, I came in the world telling my mom that at a young age. She said maybe age 9. Well, I was younger than that, because my mom was like, I was talking like 4 or 5, something like that. When I was able to talk. And I turned around and I told her I forgot how hard life was. So already we know, because I knew it was going to be some work, especially being here on earth. So, be quiet. Hey. So we had, hey, what I say? They talking, terrible twos, and they teasing. God literally trying to eat me out of house and home. And I mean literally eating walls and everything. Anyway, that's my furry kids. So I'm being led. I'm gonna stop here, and then I'm gonna go on and do some other things about what's going on currently in the Twin Flame. I'm making a series because I want you to pay attention to what's going on. So this is where we are as far as with these eclipses, these energies that's being brought to us as well. Now, how we're supposed to, and I think I need to change the title of it. So these are the energies that we're talking about. We're talking about us understanding that in this moment, we don't need to do too much of anything, because we're working on, we have even already have, and not working, we have already connected to ourselves. We've gotten at this point from us doing all of these connections through the challenges, the towers, or dealing with the twin, or dealing with people, situations, or the karmic, person, place, things. We've got a deeper connection with self, which is again leading us to union, which is leading us to be able to connect with the world, which is leading us to be able to connect with our divine counterparts, that we are able to just do things without us having to actually do any kind of physical extra exertion of energy to make it actually happen. Because this is what I'm feeling. What we are doing is already setting the propellant. See, what the problem is that we like to keep on keeping ourselves in the divine masculine energies, or in the 3D energies, where it's like, I got to do something. I got to stand in my authority. I got to lead. I got to do something tangible. If you say, it won't even say divine, I'll say in the masculine energies, because that's worldly. That's more 3D energies. In the divine feminine energies, feminine energies understands just to be. I just set the intentions and I let it go off on that program, and I just plug in the numbers, type in what I want, and I expect it to happen. It's just like going through the drive-through, putting in what you exactly want, and driving around expecting the order to do. You don't have to jump over the window, look and see behind the counter, and say, what you doing? Do you got my, are you frying my filet of fish patties right? Remember, I want the sauce on them. Remember, I want the cheese in this. Then give me the fries and tell them about the sweet tea. You don't have to actually tell them how to do the order. You trust, like the universe, to give you what you want. Okay? All right. So, just as a reminder, and I'm going to stop it right here because I'm being led there. Said to go on here. Just a reminder, here on Divineunisouls11 channel here, I am giving a free course on the 7 deadly sins of twin flames. There are things and areas in which religion causes 7, deadly sins, but spiritually, those are the transgressions or the things that are stopping us from being able to sin, to go to the next level, to get our abundance, our manifestation, to get with our person, to get everything that we want. In order for us to do that, and I read a quote and it was on Facebook and I shared it, which is in so many words, and I'll paraphrase it, is that we got to go into our shadow or to the dark side or what they call the evil in order for us to understand the good. So this is something in which is a course that we should, as twin flames, shouldn't be running from because the title says sins. Sins means missing the mark. Where are we missing the mark? These are 7 key areas in which we are actually missing the mark, although it is from religion based, but it's spiritually, it is where we are not being able to go to the next level. These are our blocks in these 7 areas. I have done it and done my research, and I said, and you've done it well, and I have done it well, where I take a deep dive into these 7 deadly sins, and I talk about how it affects our childhood, how it affects our twin flame journey, how it affects us, how it stops us to go into the flow, what things we need to do as far as how is it being triggered and housed in blocking our chakras, how we need to be able to go on to the next, to be able to do certain things in our lives, such as activities that help us to build in those 7 what called 7 deadly sins. Okay, so I'm doing my free first class for just an hour, just giving you a little teaser on that first one of the first sins that I had there. So in that one, we are going to kind of take as much of a deep dive as we can in an hour. This is an appetizer. If you want to continue on and us up to that first day up to 12/12, I will have, because I think the next following class is the next follow. I'm gonna do it Sundays because I gotta change the time. Every a Sunday for the next 7 Sundays afterwards, we will be meeting on Zoom for 2 hours. The first hour is going to be dedicated to me teaching you about the sin and all the little areas that it affects, and then the second hour is going to be Q&A. Now, with that, again, we're going to do it on Zoom. It's $77 if you catch the special before you did right then when I do the course or before I do the course. Even now, if it feels like it's interesting to you, go to Divineunisouls11.co. Let me see where I got that. And go and register for the class. I'm going to change the days. It's going to be Sundays. So I will go in there and do that. But it's Sundays. Forget about it saying Thursdays, because at first I was going to say Thursdays. But now I'm going to change it to Sundays. Do it. Go in there and register. It's $77. Afterwards, it's going to go to $124. Midway by the 4th class, if you have not signed up for my class, I'm going to make it go to $147. And when that last class, which is on January the 30th, is finished and done, it'd be $222. Why? Because by that time, you'll be able to get the recordings that I have from the Q&A on Zoom. Also, along with the presentation, I'm going to give you that as well. Now, those of you all that registered at $77 at the beginning, you're going to get the presentation and the recordings at the end. I'm going to save all of that stuff, and then I'm going to send it in a package deal all together. And I'll give you some of those people who have been on the course. I'm going to give them a special code so they can go in there and download all that information. If you come afterwards, you hear about the good works and whatever, by word of mouth or whatever like that, you say, you know what, now I think I'm ready for a course. The money is kind of right for me to take the course now. You can more than welcome to get it for $222 at the end. Okay, this is something that's been instructed to me. It's very good. Even as I was doing the research and doing it, I also was trying out the stuff and the activities and things they have been instructed to as well, and it had made a lot of dynamic shifts within my life as I went through all of it. And probably again when I go through you all, it's going to do some shifts again as well. But like I said, very interesting how Spirit led. I was like, you said that in the sense that's a little controversial, but the way that I attack it and I see how it affects each one of our lives, and I was like, oh my God, I get it for twin flames. Yeah, we do that, like lusting after. We want the life that our twin is having with the karmic or without us. Okay, so that would be again something again about the twin flame that's falling underneath lust, how we're missing the mark for us to be able to. We shouldn't be wanting to lust after what our twin has, because again, they are us, we are them. Number two, they're in that situation because they need to learn. So if somebody say, I need to go off to be a better person, a better me, for you, you shouldn't be upset or wanting or wishing bad ill will of them being in other things, because if they say in this situation I'm getting better for us, you shouldn't be upset about that. Again, that's a very big stress. We have to grow to that. I'm not saying honestly every day I'm kind of like, ooh, I got it. And some days I have to talk to myself. And some days I was like, yeah, I see why you're over there. Or yes, I see why you need to be over there, because I'm not right either. So that's why it's a good thing for you to go in. So make sure you go and register at Divineunisouls11.co. Make sure you click like, share, and subscribe to this so it can help the algorithm, so it can break through and find its way back up to the top with the YouTube and those who are searching, because I'm finding out even from other people that mostly the people are getting this through Google search, and not too many people from my subscribers list are getting this. So make sure you go to the community tab. I'm doing new things. Whatever I post on here, I also put in a community tab as well, just in case they are not saying I have uploaded a video. All right then. So as always, stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascending. Namaste, namago. Love you. And don't forget to take advantage, if you want to treat yourself to a present about what's happening in the past, make sure you go to Divine Unisouls at my Gmail. Where it go? Make sure you go to my Gmail, hit me up there, give me an email, say I'm interested in the $144 special for my past life regression session. All right, then, until next time, keep on healing. You're at the healing place, and we know in order for us to heal, we have to reveal, and that's going to help us to move over to the other side for our new beginnings. All right, until next time, keep on healing.